Okay, welcome to oziTarget Map. This is a quick trick for anyone wanting to do some simulation work for practicing using different tools. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and import an IGC file. So I've got a flight here from Benalla. That gives me that track information. I'll turn these grid lines off for the moment. So what I want to do is go into playback mode, and I've got that track selected. And basically, if I scrub through that track, at any point, if I stop and hit start navigation, and I've got this recalc flight winds set, it will calculate the flight winds up to that location in the flight so that I know what's going on. So again, I can pause it, scrub through the flight, and let's go up to just before this declaration. So again, start playing at that point in the flight. My flight winds are updated. I've now got flight winds data from basically surface to 3,300 feet. So I can pause that there. I can actually close that down, open up the normal simulator, make sure that I've got select simulate from wind reader data flight winds, and I can pick a start point and I can put it anywhere on the map. So say if I put it down here. Now when I start simulating, it will start playing back based on the wind reader information. So if I use my history tool as an example, and I know that, okay, at that point in the flight I was at about 2,000 feet. I'll turn that off. We'll dial this up to 2,000 feet or thereabouts. And what we can see is once we start navigating, we're now paralleling what the flight was doing there. And at this point, if I set up a descent, so say I'm going to do 700 feet per minute, what you'll see is that this will start to match what was going on here. Now, I don't know off the top of my head what the descent rate was for this little dip down to make the declaration. But again, I can use my history tool to give me some information about that. So I came down to 1,200 feet, thereabouts. So let's go a bit faster. And what you'll see is that this will mirror what happened in that track if the altitude mirrors it. But you also have the possibility to then change what you actually did with winds that matched what you had at that moment, which makes it very cool. So you can see we're now getting that hook back to the right. So say I bailed out of that and I started punching back up again at 500 feet per minute. Now obviously this isn't doing lead in and lead out acceleration stuff, but it's good for the exercise of understanding what information you had. So you can play around. You can have tools like your left and right tool, or your turn tool, I should say. And that will give you an idea of what your turn looks like. So if you spread that out to 80 degrees, you can see that it's telling you maximum left 2850 feet. We're only at 1,500 feet. But if we were navigating to a goal, I'll get rid of the marker drop. If we were navigating to that goal, it's saying 2,700 feet will take us straight to it, 2,850 will take us to the left, and away we go. So we want to keep climbing. Let's speed our climb up a bit. So there you go. So that is one of the tricks for setting up your simulation to replay critical decision-making points in previous flights, or just to practice using some of the tools, trying different things. Yeah, so away you go. Have fun.